Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's an exciting day.
And it is.
It is a very exciting day. Did something this morning that we've been meaning to do for a long time. Well, we've been waiting to do for a long time. And that is pay for our giant order. Sent a little bank wire. It stung a little bit though, that's for sure.
It's a big order.
It's a big order, but it's going to fuel so many of the projects that we've been putting on hold for so long here in the Lego City, and I am pretty excited about it. Also, they launched the new Disney gift with purchase this morning. It was like the Disney TV, it was like classic animation scenes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's one that I want to keep for sure.
Yeah. So you spent $170 on that, or sorry,
170 Canadian.
You spend 170 Canadian or 130 US, you get it for free. And it comes with the little TV and the Disney like intro, and
It's got like the castle, Toy Story, and Lion King.
Lion King,
like little scenes.
Good little GWP,
It
that's
is
for
a
sure.
good GWP.
Two minifigures too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we placed some more orders today for some of the rectangular rock panels because we used so many of those rectangular rock panels to create the mountain. So we placed an order for those, multiple actually, and got those GWPs. If you want to grab those GWPs, we've put our little link in the description and also the pinned comment down below to the promotional page on the LEGO website for Canada and the United States, and that's our affiliate link if you want to check out that promotion. We would appreciate it. But today in this video, we want to discuss some ideas about what we're going to be doing in the LEGO City because our list is pretty much all crossed off, so that's pretty exciting. We did that on April 18th, and it's time to update that, especially seeing that we have a whole whack of parts, like 100,000 parts on the way for the city. So we want to update that list. We want to do some sorting as well and just talk about some stuff that we're going to try and accomplish here and then in the next little while in the LEGO studio. Let's go. I think the interesting thing about that Disney GWP is the fact that you don't have to buy Disney related items to get it.
No, you can get anything. We just got parts.
Yeah, because the other Disney GWP, which was like the Mickey Mouse's little TV screen or movie theater or whatever it was, you had to buy Disney stuff. But this year, it's whatever you want. So we were ordering these rectangular rock panels. And Mrs. Bricksie, you know what we need to order as well that aren't included in that giant order that we just paid for? Is the 16 by 16s for the Mills plating.
Yes.
Because, yeah, our entire LEGO City is Mills plated, but there's something else that we need to Mills plate, and included in the order that we placed is all of the base plates for the subway, which is absurd. Like, it is just insane because it goes the entire perimeter. So we ordered enough base plates to base plate that. We're not sure if we're going to Mills plate it or not, but we also ordered enough base plates to base plate the entire medieval area as well. But now we need to go about ordering the 16 by 16 plates for this area. We probably have enough 2x2 brick unless we're trying to put like a bunch of elevation in it. But something we do have, and I think we can use them for elevation, is actually the white IKEA boxes. You see the white IKEA boxes down here?
We've got a lot of those.
Yeah, so we could probably use that for elevation. As long as you put them on a Mills plate and then tack them down, I think it works. But if you put them on a base plate, it's pretty floppy because they don't actually have any clutch power.
Well, and like, I mean, at like first glance, I mean, it does look big, but it might not seem as big of an area as it is. Like this area required a lot of base plates. So we have this coming.
I think it's 7 by 12.5.
Something like that.
Something like
It's like a half plate.
Yeah.
It's one, I think, this way. So
another thing that we're going to have to do when it comes to Mills plating this, I think, is like destroy a lot of these pre-made ones. For example, this one for the medieval blacksmith, I think we're going to have to destroy that and rebuild it. This one's probably okay. We could probably work that into some sort of scene, but this one over here is pretty specialized as well. So I think when we go about Mills plating this area, we're going to have to destroy a lot of these scenes and sort of rebuild them.
yeah, because they were built to like for the original raised platform, so they're like open and high just on the one side. But obviously things are going to change a lot when we get to this project.
So yeah, we'll have to consider ordering those 16 by 16s.
We need like, it's like over 300, I think.
What
And
are they,
not
like
just
$3
for this
each?
area, but like for all the various things, like we needed that many green ones.
Yeah, it's crazy. 300 more green ones.
More. Yeah, not total, more.
That's all right, though. Are we going to mills plate the subway? I don't know yet. I want to. But what we're going to have to do for the subway, because our wood is certain sizes, and that's not going to be a base plate dimension, so what we're going to do is tack the base plates down, probably honestly using a hot glue gun, which I know is probably taboo, but hot glue gun actually you can like peel off, so it doesn't really ruin the Lego. But I think if we hot glue gun the base plates to it, and then say for example this one is a base plate and a quarter, well then you just start on one side and you hot glue gun the base plates until you get to this point, and then we're going to have to chop a base plate and hot glue gun that down so that these modules are still removable, because you can see I remove them all the time so that I can scoot under there. But I think once we base plate them, it's going to look a lot better. And then what we can do is we can start doing the backdrops on some of them. It's going to require a lot of brick, or I did measure originally that when we put a mills plate here, it actually has enough space to stand a base plate upright like that. So we could just stand a base plate like that. But if we want to like brick build all those scenes, it's going to take a lot of brick. But I think we should just try and tidy up the foreground. And once we get that done, then what we can do is drop the black skirting underneath. And I think that'll tidy up the foreground of the city quite a bit. And I've been meaning to, and I know I said I was going to do that this week. Sorry, was that?
No, you go.
I was meaning to do this week, and I still am. It's still early in the week. I'm going to move that the deep sea area. We're going to put it in this spot right here, and then we'll drop black skirting there, so it just tidies that up as well.
Something else that is on our list that we're going to put back on the list, it wasn't on this list, we're going to put on the new list. We have to do this. It's not parts related, but it has to be done. We're going to do we put white hockey tape when we were doing the island, and we bought a lot, so we're going to put it all the way around the city.
Sounds like a really fun task.
It's not going to be a fun task whatsoever.
Now
because we're going to have to like rip everything.
Yeah, you just have to hold
I mean,
it
things
up.
are connected to a certain degree, but we'll just have to like, one of us has to hold it up while the other's doing it, or whatever.
And we've done this two different ways. Of course, you can use the melamine banding that you iron on. We've done that before. It just takes so much longer. Whereas the hockey tape, you just slap it on. I also like how this hockey tape softens the edge of it as well.
It's obviously not as like smooth.
It's way
But, I
more
mean,
economical though to use the
we
hockey
don't-
stick tape.
Yeah, and it's,
Hockey
I
stick
mean, we
tape
don't
was like
notice.
$20 to do the whole city. The banding would cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
I don't know how
this
much money,
is
but
nicer up close, but like
yeah.
you don't see it up close.
Yeah, so I think using the hockey stick tape would be good. So where are we at now? Okay, so we got the subway, we got the hockey stick tape, we got the deep sea area, Mrs. Bricksie, we got to start writing the stuff down.
Yes, yes.
And then we also have the medieval diorama mills plating and just base plating. So yeah, one thing that we need to consider too is what we're going to do with this island. Included in our order was, or is, a bunch of the snot bricks, I'm going to call them, modified bricks with the forward-facing studs. Snot is studs not on top. And that's going to be used to create a bunch of buildings for this here, since we can put like shingle or siding on it, similar to the old fishing store. So we need to start creating a bunch of little mini modules for this. Or we scrap our idea as to what we're doing here, even though we built this beautiful brick-built sort of road here that's sort of roughed up. And we turn this into modular building expansion. I'm still sort of on the fence about that, and that's why this project has sort of just been put at a standstill for now, because I think we're going to run out of space for modular buildings, and this is a great spot where we could put more modular buildings, or we make it the island vibe that we were originally thinking. So we're still giving that some thought, but included in the order is actually 20,000. That's right, 20,000 1x2 tiles, and also I think probably 1,000 of the wave elements as well. So when the order arrives, we can fully tile off the water around the island. So that's going to be the next thing that we need to do for the island, and I think that's the only thing for the island that should be included on the list is laying the tiles, just because that's something that needs to be done no matter what we do with the island in the end. So we don't know if it's going to be island vibe or modular building vibe. It really depends on what we're going to do. Over here, where we have the X mansion, this can of course be a downtown expansion, and I think it might be, or this could become a place where we have the X mansion. I don't really know yet, but either way, it's not a huge spot for more modular buildings, and our downtown core is officially full. There is ways that we could condense this layout, but I like how spaced out it is, so I don't think we want to condense that. So we have this area over here for modular buildings, or the island, and that's it. So the island might get converted into more modulars. I know a lot of people don't like that concept, but it is what it is. It's sort of what we're going to do, or maybe potentially going to do. We also have Arkham here, and there's been a lot of people saying that we should put the Arkham on the island, which I do agree with, but I don't want that to be the only thing on the island. I think if we start populating the island with buildings, then we need more than just one, and we need to sort of give it a good go rather than just placing that on the island and calling it done, you know? Yeah, so we have this whole area that we need to figure out what we're doing with. For now, it just has the haunted house, which I like the position of, and also the dog park. I'm not sure if the X mansion is going to stay here or not. And then we have some trees and also the fountain and the skate park just on reserve, along with some rough road layout here as well. So we've got this whole area that we need to develop. The X mansion is super cool, and I think we do need to create a grounds for it. And what we could do is create a grounds for it and relocate it over here. So the X mansion could be somewhere over here. And the interesting thing about this is we actually have, I think, 8 bricks of height that we could work with. So we could put the X jet within it. But that's going to take up 8 base plates in this region. So essentially, this is 4 base plates. So 2 of those, it's give or take. Do we want to allocate this space from here all the way to there to the X mansion? Do we want that to be the X mansion by the campground, by the winter village, by a ski slope? Maybe not. Do we want to allocate maybe 8 base plates over here, by an A-frame cabin, by a campground, by a gravel road, by a river? Probably not. So that's the scenario that I'm in right now. I think, although it's not authentic, I think the X mansion over by Mrs. Bricksie. Hi, Mrs. Bricksie. You can say hello.
Hello.
Your mic should work from way over there.
It does.
But we could put the X mansion over here, but I'm sort of leaning toward keeping it over here because I don't want to allocate all of that space in the countryside to the X mansion. You know what I mean? It just sort of seems, although it's not random based on the comic books, it is random in my Lego City or our Lego City. Don't you agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was just looking as you're walking past, something crucial that needs to change is that needs a white edge. I hadn't noticed that before. On the Winter Village, it needs a white edge.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, what is that?
Wow.
Ew.
You know, I like the idea of putting this in the countryside because we have the 8 bricks of height to work with. So we could build that hangar for the X-Jet. Something else we could do, it's 3 base plates long, is just remove 3 of these modular buildings right here. 1, 2, 3, and put that right there on Pop Culture Street. Might look pretty cool if that was just like amongst all the pop culture buildings and they're all together. I was reading a comment saying we should make that pop culture island over there as well.
I literally had that thought about 48 seconds ago.
48 seconds?
Yeah.
Who's counting? But yeah, we could make it pop culture island.
It'd be really tall.
It'd be really tall. That's the problem. We want to, with the forced perspective, we don't want to put the tall stuff on the island. That's why we didn't want to put the amusement park on the island either, just because it's too tall and it would just block the view of all of the other stuff in the city. It's really hard to write stuff down on a list when you don't know what you're doing yet, hey? There's too many variables at this point.
There is a lot.
There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things that we could do. But that's why the number one thing on the list is, of course, working on the mountain range, because I feel like a lot of the things in the city revolve around the mountain range and rely on this project being completed. For example, the backdrop of the city. this perspective here. It relies on that mountain range. This whole open area and the winter village and all of this space here relies on the mountain range. So to fix the biggest eyesore in the city, we just need to focus on building mountains. But you saw how much we got done in one day. I did the slope detailing on a small section, and Mrs. Bricksie and I built maybe a quarter of the largest mountain in another day. So we're talking probably like 30 days of pure effort with unlimited parts. And we have parts on the way, but we do not have unlimited amounts of those rock panels at this particular point. So that's why it's been sort of a grind process, if you will. Something that's been like residing on the list for a long time is the residential area. We've got that whole open spot right there. So we need to develop that. And also we need to fix up Twilight. I think it's going to stay there. I actually like it there, but just need to like give it a driveway and stuff. Create a little scene around it, which is not a major project.
I think that we were just sort of like waiting for the mountain to figure out what we were doing with that little spot there. Mm-hmm. I also thought it would be cool, like, it might not really make sense right there where Twilight is, but that's kind of what my mind thought of initially, but like a big windmill or something. Maybe over here. I don't know.
We have a spare blacksmith, and there's a windmill alternate build for it. We could do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just like, I feel like there's so much stuff that needs to be done, but I feel like a lot of it relies on the mountain. Mm-hmm.
And like with the mountain too, like there's that mine.
Yeah, the mine.
Bricklink designer set eventually, so like we kind of have to keep that in the back of our minds. Like where's that gonna go? Mm-hmm.
And there's also like even on the other side over there, where we have like the start of a mountain right there on the base of Ninjago and the cave, and that big hole, and then all of the space in behind the roller coaster there. And all of the space in behind Ninjago is all sort of mountain related too. So like, although we have this space open and on reserve and we have to work on the amusement park, I feel like the mountain is just something that, is a bigger eyesore than this per se. So it is what it is, but who wants to work on a mountain for 30 days straight? Mrs. Bricksie, do you?
No, not really.
Her back hurts from yesterday working on the mountain just because it's so tall, stretching and reaching and on your feet the whole time. So, yeah, this is going to be all part of the process. But at least the parts are on the way. So I guess in the end, what you should do on that piece of paper there is just write on the whole thing, mountain. That's it. Whatever you have to do with the work on the mountain.
It's just nice to have a list so that, like, if there's like a spare hour in the day or 20 minutes to do something, it's nice to be able to just like work on a little thing to like get ahead or like start a project. So it's nice to have like small, medium, large, extra large tasks, you know?
For sure. And there's a lot of little things like that. Like we need to work on like little corner modular buildings for like over there and all sorts of stuff for the amusement park. Too. Yeah, by the stud gate. And there's always more like landscaping and stuff. Like, we went through and did this the other day and you made these little things when I was sick that one day, and that looks great. So there's always little tiny projects like that we can add to our list. But
part of one of those orders for this morning, ordering the MERPs and stuff, is the tiles to fix that.
Yeah, that's good.
Random.
We always run out of the medium ones, the medium curved tiles. So yeah, it's good that we got those on order too. So I guess we're not really making a list, are we? Well, you got a little bit of stuff on there.
A little bit of a list.
Paint the wall blue.
Yeah. I just thought of it, like this needs like some mini builds or some details.
Oh, yeah. Mini builds for the
beach boardwalk kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good idea. Also, we got to go to End of the Roll. It's a carpet store, and get the carpet for the Star Wars room. See if they have any like all black carpet with white spackle. Something that sort of looks like stars but doesn't cost a bajillion dollars, and we can get it custom made to the perfect size of the Star Wars room. So it goes like cabinet to cabinet. That looks sick. Yeah, so there's just like so much stuff to do down there, but it's pretty cool how like in the last year, I feel like we've just done a lot of it. And now it's just like, the big major ones that are needed to be that we need to take care of, you know, like the mountain and just water tiles and medieval diorama and subway and skirting underneath and creating the deep sea area.
Yeah, it's like a lot of large projects.
Yeah, and the entire
and then kind
amusement
of
park.
yeah, and then other things will kind of like come from that, I guess.
Yeah. So for now, for the rest of this day, I think we're just going to sort and sort of hang out for a bit, because why not? We got sorting to do too, and that's another big thing. It's just really cool how, like, you know, we've got another round, like another huge order on the way, and we're ordering more and more parts to continue working on the mountain. And we've actually started the mountain project, which is like the biggest, most daunting task ever in our Lego career.
Yeah.
So it's cool that we're actually, you know, getting around to starting that. And there is, like, you know, the ski slope and that as well. But that,
It's all mountain related.
once again,
though.
lies on the mountain.
And it's like we're working our way over.
We're working our way there. I don't know how that's going to work with, you know, the countryside, because it's awfully green right now. So we're going to have to transition it into white. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, we're just going to go through. We're going to start with black, and we're just going to try and get as many bins sorted as we can. Just wanted to chill out today and get some stuff done and just sort of clear our minds and continue our sorting process. Mrs. Bricksie and I are really sort of getting into that sorting rhythm. And a big shout out to all of you for joining us on this journey. You know, we've had so many parts that we need to sort, and this journey has come a long way over the last like year or so. Who remembers when we had those two big tables set up in the center of the room with all of the unsorted bins underneath and the big heap of parts on the top of the tables, and we would just like sort whenever we got a chance? And there was just like so much that had to be sorted. It was pretty overwhelming. But you know, we've had a sorting day here and there over the last year. You know, I don't know how many there's been in total, but there's been quite a few of them. And specifically within the last week, this is our third sorting day. So we've managed to get a lot of it done. Also, a big shout out to my mom, because she helped us sort a lot behind the scenes as well. So that was, or that just goes a long way. It's amazing. So yeah, there's been like pretty much, you know, a pretty steady effort over the last year between all three of us trying to get this tackled, and it seems like we're finally approaching the end. In addition to sorting all the pieces that you see us sorting here, I also do some stuff behind the scenes at the very end, and I group together all of the unsorted pieces that we have, and I also like combine everything into the bins, because right now we're sorting by part type. So we've got a bin full of slopes, a bin full of connectors, and there's plate, odd shaped plate, studs not on top bricks, and whatever else you see in front of you there. And then we're working our way through the different colors, because a lot of the parts that we have right now are sorted by color. So we tackle black, and then we go into some like blue, and then we do some random ones that have all sorts of different pieces within them, such as the boutique hotel bin. It's funny because we parted out like 2 or even 3 of those sets, and then we threw all of the additional pieces into a bin, and that has been sitting around since we doubled up the boutique hotel. So it's been years that this bin has been sitting there, but it feels good just to go through and get all of these things sorted. And yeah, it's just been a process. It's been a process, but it's definitely a good way to do something different in the day. And actually, I'm starting to find it to be quite relaxing, and it just feels good to clean up a mess. I'm no longer overwhelmed by sorting, and nor is Mrs. Bricksie, just because we have the right systems in place. Now we know how to sort it by size. We also have like all of the bins behind us, which are all sorted by part type and by color, so we can work it into that. And we just have like come up with the right system of breaking it down by generic part type, and then later on break it down by specific color and size. So we've come up with a pretty good system, and that system really does just make this process a lot more enjoyable. But there you go, we sorted a ton today. Like, you saw so many parts come on and off the table. If you didn't see it the other day, I updated this tower right here to have a lot of our overflow that's broken down by sort of category. I added 2x2 bricks to the top. Of course, we added more plate in there today. We added more snot bricks, and the tile drawer is almost full. And so is the massive connector drawer now. It's just wild how many connectors we have. And then I added a new category on the bottom. The bad thing about buying bulk, okay, maybe bad is the wrong term, but it's just like all the random stuff that we don't really have a use for at this particular time. So I'm gonna classify it as the bad thing about buying bulk, because when you buy bulk, you don't end up with the exact pieces that you want. It's not like you're gonna buy a bulk lot and just get gray plate in there. You're gonna get a bunch of random stuff in there as well, which you don't really have a use for. Well, I guess it depends on what you are building, but when we're building, we don't really have a use for a lot of those parts. So we came up with that new drawer, and we don't know what we're gonna do with that stuff, but we'll find a home for it eventually. I also updated down here. We just poured more slopes into our slope bin and more brick into our brick bin. But then I updated the to be sorted bin right here. So this used to be about half full, and it is now full because I went underneath the Lego City tables and I grabbed all the bins that we had that were full of to be sorted pieces and put them in this bin here. Now I originally thought there was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 bins, but it turns out I must have combined them before, because it was just this bin right here and then the banker's box as well. So the banker's box had a bunch of stuff that needed to be broken down and then sorted, and the black bin was about half full of pieces, so I was able to combine it with that clear bin over there in the corner, and then I poured the stuff from the banker's box into this bin here. So all of this stuff here still needs to be broken down, and this is all like minifig stuff like you saw the other day. And then we've got some more stuff that's like sort of sorted over here. Like for example, it's all white brick in there. It just needs to be worked into our backstock system. And then I went ahead and labeled all our door bins over here. And this is our updated stack of empties, which were all full at one point. So the stack is getting pretty big, and we are opening up some more cabinet space there day by day. Now, one thing I probably will do is go buy 6 more of these bins here. I know it seems ridiculous because we have so many empty bins, but I like these ones. I like the way they fit underneath the table, and we can fit 4 right there where the big one is, and 2 more on that stack. And then eventually I want to go through and sort that bin and pretty much everything else once we have it broken down by size, and then we can have it all categorized by size under here. And if I go get those bins, which I don't think cost very much anyway, well then I can get rid of all of these small random bins and have it all under there, and then we can have our cabinets back. I think it would be worth the investment of spending whatever it is, $80 or whatever it is on those bins, just to get it all consistent for my, I shouldn't use this term lightly, but my OCD. Like I get really particular about how it is and how everything is stowed away, and I want to make sure that everything is labeled, and it just like bothers me how everything's like not in one place. So I just want to go get those bins just to make it look a little bit better over there, and just come up with the ultimate system for, you know, the unsorted backstock that we have, rather than having the Lego style bins, these random bins over here, and then like these random things. I would much prefer it all just to be broken down and put into a system over here that is consistent, you know? Wouldn't that be a lot more satisfying than how it is? I think so. It'd be worth the investment. Yeah, we just wanted to kick it today, have a casual conversation about the city, and let you know that our parts are on the way, and then do some sorting just to sort of take it easy and relax for the day, really. Yeah, so it's always good to have days like that, and it seems like we've had quite a few this week, so that's pretty awesome. But I look forward to doing more mountain building. Just decided to change up the day, change up the content too. I don't think building mountains for 30 days straight is going to be worth it. In the new year, I'm probably going to test something new on the channel. We'll see how that goes. Rather than having, for example, 10 mountain updates, maybe we should just have like 2 or 3, and we just like conquer a mountain. But then you guys won't hear from us or see us for like weeks, so it's hard to test that just because we're so stuck in our ways. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Glad that we could take you along for a little journey there, sorting a bunch of stuff and discussing what's coming up next with the big parts order and the city. Exciting times. Have a great day. Bye for now.